Planning all your exercise for the weekend can be just as effective as spreading it out during the week, according to a study published in the medical journal JAMA. Doing the recommended 150 weekly minutes of workouts over a couple of days has the same benefits as doing them throughout the week, the study found. These benefits included lower risks for heart disease, stroke, and many other health issues. Weekend warriors were also no more likely to pull, tear, or break something. A new dog illness has been spotted across the country. The main symptom is a strong cough, often with a honking sound. It's been reported in a few states, but likely has spread across the U.S., veterinarians say. The disease seems to spread when dogs are near each other, so try to avoid locations such as boarding kennels, parks, or groomers. If you suspect your dog may be ill, see a vet as soon as possible. There's no treatment for this specific illness, but vets can treat secondary illnesses that may arise. That's your AARP Minute. See you tomorrow.
Hello, my name is Teresa Collins, and I am an Executive Council member for AARP Illinois. AARP, a nonprofit, nonpartisan member organization, has been working to promote the health and well-being of older Americans for more than 60 years. AARP Illinois is proud to represent all those who are 50 plus in Illinois and our 1.7 million members. And we thank you for the opportunity to be your wise friend and fierce defender. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life for all as we age, leading positive social change and delivering value to members through advocacy, service, and information. At AARP, we know that staying fit is one of the pillars of healthy living, and we want to help you on your fitness journey. Physical activity can boost memory, improve thinking, and even lower dementia risk. It's not too late to start. AARP is proud to offer today's virtual event to start or continue you on your fitness journey. Have a wonderful class and enjoy.
Hello and welcome. I'm Gail with SSP, Senior Services Plus, and I'm just delighted to be here with you today to share our chair yoga with our AARP friends. We approach our chair yoga as a combination of mind, body, spirit, and emotion for our fully integrated practice. And I always like to begin our practice with a reading to kind of gear us towards what to expect. So I take the reading today from Dana Fall's Go In and In, Poems from the Heart of Yoga. And it's called Being Present. Breathe, relax, and feel. Take time to slow down the pace of life. Watch the rise and fall of moods, the birth and death of dreams. Feelings and sensations seem so real, yet they shift like changing clouds and flow with the high tide out to sea again. Allow it all to be. No need to grasp or push away. Present with each moment, the whole of you, body, mind, and soul, opens to receive. Being present. So as we begin, just make sure you have a chair that works well for you, that is nice and comfortable, preferably that doesn't have arms on it, or that so that you can move easily and freely around it. You're nice and comfortable. And see if you can check your alignment with your ear, shoulder, and your hip, all in a beautiful, elegant alignment so that we'll be able to get the maximum benefit out of the elegance of our practice. Keeping the being present in mind, let's begin by dropping the chin down to the chest. And we'll roll the ear over to the right shoulder as we take an inhale. Exhaling as we cross the midline of the body. And taking the chin to the left shoulder. So we're going to imagine that we're making a big, beautiful, gorgeous bow that's going to be placed right on top of a beautifully wrapped present of ourselves. It's this box that's got this sparkling paper and those little streamed, curled ribbons dangling all around every edge of the box, fully wrapped of the present of ourselves. And we're going to make these bows big and juicy, imagining that we're placing this beautiful bow right on top of the gorgeously wrapped present of ourselves, reminding ourselves that the best present that we could ever give to another human being is being fully present to them. And we begin by being present to ourselves with the same kind of attention and self-compassion, engagement that we would give to another human being. You may notice that as you're doing this movement, without efforting on your part, your loops may be getting a little bit wider, a little bit broader, higher, deeper. And paying attention to the little things that you notice as you're making this movement, making that bow. As we move through our practice, we pay attention to these three things. First, breath. Are we allowing the body to breathe itself in a natural, smooth, easy rhythm? Or are we clenching, tightening, gripping, waiting to exhale? Secondly, sensation. What physical things do you notice as you move through your practice? In the bones, the joints, the tendons, the ligaments, the blood flow, the nerve endings. Like I'm hearing snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies, a little crunchy going on in my neck and shoulders. What about you? What are you noticing? Imagine that you have your own personal notebook that you're jotting down your observations for your own personal use to take a peek at every now and then, just to notice. And then after noticing breath and sensations, we're attentive to emotions. How does it make us feel? What feelings do we notice bubbling up? Just jot down our observations. One last beautiful loop-de-loop bow. Imagining a beautifully wrapped present of yourselves being fully present to other humans as you proceed throughout your day. Beautiful. Now just let the hands dangle down to the side and give them a nice shake. If it's comfortable for you, invite yourself to scooch down towards the edge of your chair. The belly is engaged and the shoulders are open. Want to have that beautiful, long, elegant line in our posture. We imagine that we have the beautiful golden thread starting at the base of our spine, lifting us up, 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 lifting the crown of the head up into the heavens. Imagine that you have roots growing right out of the very bottom of your feet, anchoring you into the earth, reminding ourselves that as humans, we are anchored smack dab in the middle between heaven and earth, receiving and sharing those energies moving in both of those directions. And now we're going to come into our loose coat sleeves. So we imagine that we have a jacket draped over our shoulders, but we're not putting our arms in the sleeves. We're going to twist the arms to one side while we let the head follow. And then twist the arms to the opposite side, following with the head in both of those directions, keeping the belly engaged as we do this. Gentle twisting demonstrates two of the ways that the spine can move. And just as we do this twisting, flexibility, agility, mobility, strength, and stability. We'd like to do all of those things in our yoga practice today. Incorporate that. Good, you might feel yourself starting to get just a little bit warmer, even as you're doing this simple twisting. Twists are so amazing for the body. Good, now we're going to add to that by taking one hand and making a small little fist and then tapping the upper chest below the shoulder while we take the opposite hand behind and tap above the waistline. So we're tapping into those meridian lines in the body. Sorry, about to knock my glasses out of my little coat pocket here. Here we go. Very nice. Just noticing what you're noticing as you awaken that energy. Do our class mindfully. Mindfulness is a very important part of our yoga practice, and that's just where we're attentive and aware moment by moment, paying attention to what's happening. And the critical piece is without judgment. So we learn to move from criticism to curiosity. What could be going on there? To clarity. Oh, okay. Excellent. We're just going to change it up just a slight little bit here by opening up one hand and tapping the head, the neck area and the shoulder while we take the opposite hand behind. So we're doing another thing to loosen up the neck and the shoulders. You know, you are the boss of you. Make this practice work for you. Know all about your bionic parts, your accidents, illnesses, surgeries, you slept wonky, whatever it might be. And then, use your own judgment to adapt the class to make it work best for you today in these moments. Excellent. One last little zigzag, and then we'll just let the hands drop down to the side, and we'll just give them a nice little shake. Now we're going to bring the hands together in the front, and we're going to interlace the fingers, beginning by having the left thumb be the one on the top. Bring the wrists and the elbows together, if we can. If we can't, it's fine, just wherever the arms would want to go. And then we're going to come into our figure eights. It kind of looks like infinity on the side. See what that feels like for us as we make those figure eights. One last one going in this direction and then coming back to the starting position, leaving your hands just as they are. Now, whichever way you started to make your eight, I usually go to my right first. Go if you went the opposite way. Whatever way you started, go to that opposite way, leaving the hands interlaced just as they are right now, and taking those eights in that opposite direction. Just noticing any differences that you're aware of, shade, little nuances of differences and going in one direction or the other. Excellent. Last little one, and then we'll just let the hands release. Let the hands fall down to the side and give them a good shake. Good, and now we're going to interlace the fingers, this time with the right thumb being on the top rather than the left. Whatever way that is your preferred way to start. When you do the opposite way, it just feels funky. Same thing, drawing the arms out in front, getting that nice good shoulder stretch. See if you can bring the arms together. Maybe it's different this way. And then start to make those figure eights. Pausing at the top, and once again, letting the fingers interlace just as they are, now going in that opposite direction. Breath, sensation, emotion. We're always checking in with ourselves to see what's happening with us. Attentive to those little shifts. Jotting down our observations, being witnesses to our own life as it unfolds. One last one. And then we'll just release the hands, once again allowing them to fall down to the side and giving them a nice little shake. Excellent. Now let's come into our seated cow-cat. Spinal extension and flexion, the forward and backward movement of the spine. So if you want to, just find a place that's comfortable for you. I like to put my hands on the bottom of the chair for a nice little anchoring. And we begin by letting the head look upward and let the head fall back. Eyes look upward and the head fall back between the shoulders as we arch the back. We're not going to force this. We're going to let our head come to wherever our head naturally wants to go for its maximum stretch. This is our cow part of our pose, otherwise known as spinal extension. We're going to inhale here. Slowing your breathing down to slower than you usually think you would go. And then we're going to do the counterpart to that pose, the cat, which is just the opposite. We draw the belly to the back of the spine, round the shoulders, drop the chin to the chest as we look down and exhale. For our cat or our spinal flexion. So continuing to do your cow-cat, your spinal extension and flexion at your own pace, your own rhythm. See if you can slow it down. In our subtle body yoga, it's counterintuitive for most of us to realize, oh yeah, okay, the slower that we do these movements, the more benefit that we get, not only physically, surprisingly for many physically, as well as emotionally. It does wonders for the central nervous system. And it helps us to physically go deeper and richer into a move as we slow down and are attentive. We're always invited to set an intention at the beginning of each of our yoga practices. Just ask yourself, what particular energy would you like to yoke your yoga practice with today, to take with you as you leave? One last full, complete cow-cat. And as you finish that, tuck the chin to the chest, Slowly let that head roll back up to that neutral position. Eyes are looking straight ahead. Release the hands and give them a nice good shake. Excellent. And we're going to elevate those arms upward as we inhale. And then spread those arms wide like they're angel wings. We're still inhaling. And then we're going to exhale as we take those fingertips down towards the floor. It doesn't matter if they go to the floor completely or not, but that's what we're thinking about doing. Once again, bring those arms up, those wings out, inhaling. We're going to exhale as we come down to the floor, remembering to keep the belly engaged. Lifting those arms up, spreading those wings wide, inhaling, bringing those fingertips down to the floor, exhaling, bringing those arms up, spreading those wings wide, bringing those fingertips down to the floor, towards the floor, exhaling. The next time when we come up, let's stay here. Inhaling, spread those wings wide. This time we're going to be angels in formation. Now let's twist to one side, back to the center, to the opposite side, back to the center, and exhale. Let's do that again. Inhaling, spreading those wings wide, twisting to one side, back to the center, to the opposite side, back to the center, and exhaling. Beautiful. Again, I'm imagining all of our angels in flight here. Wings wide, twisting to one side, back to the center, to the opposite side, back to the center, and exhaling. This will be our last one. Arms are up, wings are wide, beautiful angels, twisting to one side, back to the center, to the opposite side, back to the center, and exhaling. Fantastic. Bringing the arms up, letting the hands slide and resting on the lap. Just taking a little breath. Refocusing. Excellent. Now we're going to open up the palms to opposite walls. Bring those arms up to shoulder height. The palms are going to be reaching up towards the sky. And we're going to make our way to the top of the head with both of the hands, beginning by wiggling the pinkies on both hands. Float in the rings. Float. Middles. Float. Pointers. Float. Thumbs. Float. We're at the top. We're going to clap. Pause. Now, let's take a 6-count inhale through the nose. So you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 on that inhale. Then flip. So the backs of the palms are touching. And now let's do that 6-count exhale also through the nose. Good. Now let the arms float down to shoulder height. And this time, the palms are reaching downward. On our return trip, we're going to start with thumbs. Floating. Pointers. Float, middles, float, rings, float, pinkies, float back to the starting place and give it a good shake. Excellent. Doing a lot here when you're doing this, so just Keep at it. Just start noticing observations about yourself as far as your isolating fingers simultaneously on each hand together. It takes a lot to do that while you have your alignment all in order and your belly is engaged and you have that erect posture. So palms facing opposite walls, arms float up to shoulder height. Palms are reaching upward. We begin with pinkies. Float, rings, float, middles, float, pointers, float, thumbs, float. We're at the top. Clap. Pause. A 6 count inhale through the nose. Flip, so backs of the palms are touching. A 6 count exhale, also through the nose. The arms float down to shoulder height. Palms are facing downward. In returning, we begin with thumbs. Float, pointers, float, middles, float, rings, float, pinkies, float. Back to the starting place and give it a good shake. Now this will be our last time, and just pay attention to yourself and ask yourself, is it easier for you to isolate fingers simultaneously on each hand when the palms are facing up or down? You can't be wrong. What do you notice about yourself? So here we go. Arms float up to shoulder height. Palms are reaching upwards. Pinkies, float. Rings, float. Middles, float. Pointers, float. Thumbs, float. We're at the top. Clap. Pause. 6 count inhale through the nose. Flip, so backs of the palms are touching. 6 count exhale, also through the nose. Arms float down to shoulder height, palms are reaching downward. In our final return trip, we begin with thumbs, float, pointers, float, middles, float, rings, float, pinkies, float, back to the starting place and give it a good shake. Very nice. Okay. Now let's come into our cactus arms. Okay, so this is where we'll let the arms come to the chest. As we inhale, we're going to let the right foot come out in front, right leg up onto the right heel, and the right toes are pointing back to the body. We're going to exhale as we lunge forward, remembering to keep the belly working, all those muscles working as we exhale, and then bring those cactus arms back on the inhale. So we're in our cow pose. Good. And then bringing the prayer hands together, exhaling, coming forward. Excellent. Inhaling, bringing those cactus arms back. Head is going to look up. Good. Prayer hands come together. Exhaling, lunging forward. Inhaling with those cactus arms coming back. Bringing prayer hands together. Exhaling, lunging forward. This will be our last one on this side. Cactus arms come back on that inhale. Bringing prayer hands together on that exhale. Wonderful. Bring that right foot back up. Just pedal the feet up just a little tiny bit. Great. Now we'll do that other leg. So the left leg comes out. We're up on that left heel. The left toes are pointing back. We have our prayer hands at heart center. Inhaling. And then we're going to exhale. The arms are out at shoulder height. Belly is engaged. The toes pointed back. We're going to bring those cactus arms out to the side, coming into that inhale as we look up. Exhaling. Lunging forward. Cactus arms. Looking up, arching back, inhaling. Exhaling. Lunging forward. Cactus arms. Inhaling. Exhaling. Lunging forward. Cactus arms. Looking up. Exhaling. This will be our last one on this side. Lunging forward. Cactus arms. Inhaling. Exhaling. Prayer hands together. Bring the feet together. And so now let's take our time and let's find our way coming to standing. So just take your time and find yourself coming to standing. I'm going to go ahead and take the chair and put it up just in front right now. And we're going to, I'll just tell you what I'm doing. I have my hand on the back of the chair. My left hand is on the back of the chair. The left leg is close to the back of the chair leg. And we're going to lift that right leg up. And we're going to tap 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring the feet back together and just pedal them out. The statistics are that 1 out of every 3 of us, age 65 plus, is likely to have a fall within the year, the calendar year. So the biggest indicator of our ability to remain upright and stable is the muscles in our thighs and in our buttocks, biggest muscles in the body. So we want to make sure that those are nice and strong. So round 2. Right leg lifts up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Now, pedal it out once again. Good. Now we're going to come into our kickstand tree pose. The tree pose is one of the stability postures for balance that is used in yoga very frequently. So remember, once again, the left hand is the one that's on the back of the chair for steadying us if we want. The left leg is the one that's the tree trunk. We're going to come up onto the toes of the right foot, kicking the right heel into the left ankle. And we'll begin by lifting the right arm up. And then just check to see how you feel. If you feel really wobbly, you can stay here. Or you can begin to experiment by using a different number of fingers on the back of the chair to steady you. And then see how you feel. If you feel like your balance is okay, today you can lift both of the arms up. Or if you try it and you think, oh, not so much, that's why we have our chairs. No worries. And then people do a variety of things for their tree. Sometimes people come into prayer hands. Sometimes it's Charlie Angel fingers. Sometimes we leave them open. And then we sway in the wind with the beautiful trees not breaking when something happens. Very nice. Pausing. The left hand comes down first, then right. Both of the feet come together and give it a nice pedaling out. I'm going to come to the back of my chair and push it forward. It's going to be downward dog. And so this is where I'm just going to have both of the fingertips of both of the hands, fingertips of both of the hands on the back of the chair. And then just slide yourself back as far as you comfortably can. We're not going to force it. And just the belly, keep the belly engaged, that bandha, that lock. It helps to protect your back from injury and helps that develop those core muscles. Good. The energy stays where it needs to stay. Now, just bend the knees. You have to go all the way down, just bend them ever so slightly, just a little bit. And then as you raise back up, see if just that little motion allows your legs, your feet to come back a little bit further. Usually it does, but see what it's like for you. Notice that nice stretch in the arms and shoulders. The belly is engaged, the legs are working. This is our downward dog. This is a sample of how you could do downward dog with our chair yoga practice. Excellent. One more breath here. And then we'll just walk up about halfway, still with both of the hands on the back of the chair. And then we're going to come into little squats. If you know this works for you, always remind yourself if you had certain bionic parts and such that you adapt and adjust. So the legs can be open, and then just lift your bottom, come back, and then stand back up again, strengthening those muscles in the legs, thighs, buttocks. Very nice, just noticing your strength. Helps with the stability. One last one. Excellent. Now, of course, we always do on both sides with yoga. So I'm going to come forward and I'm going to come to the opposite side. So I started with my left leg against the back of the chair, left arm in the back, but this time I'm going to have my right one. Let me see if I can get a little bit evened out here. So my right arm, my right hand is on the back of the chair, my right leg is stationed outside of the back chair leg. Pedaling out. Now I'm going to lift that left leg up, tap, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then coming back, pedaling it out. You might notice a difference on this side compared to the opposite side. What are those little nuances, those little shades of differences that you witness? And jot them down in your own notebook. Here we go. Round 2. Left leg lifts up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pedal it out. Then we're going to come into our stand tree pose on this side. So once again, right hand is holding onto the back of the chair. Come up onto the toes of the left foot. Left heel kicks into the right ankle. We begin by lifting the left arm up, seeing how that works for us. And then once again, experiment with how it feels on this side. How's your balance on this side? Usually one side is, quote, wobblier than the other. It doesn't matter. And if you try it and you think, oh, this isn't so good for me today, no worries. But whichever way you've chosen to express your tree pose for today, swinging in the wind or having one hand down, spear fingers, prayer hands, it's all good. Bringing the right hand down first, then the left, both feet come together. Excellent, pedaling it out. Very nice. Now let's just find ourselves coming back to our seated position as when we began. I'm going to come into our seated twist. So let the legs spread as wide as you comfortably can. I'm going to take my right hand and bring it to the back of my chair seat. And I'm going to take my left hand, crossing the body, so the lower belly, the middle belly, and the chest is twisting to the right. Looking over that right shoulder. So this time we are anchored specifically from the left glute to the right shoulder. Imagine that you're twisting a dish rag across the diagonal of the body, ringing, 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 ringing. This is a wonderful twist for the body. It just rings out all that junk, bunk, and funk, as Carol Schwedock, a yoga teacher, calls it. Now, if you want to get a little bit more action going on in there, it's very simple. Just take your left hand and press it into the outside of the right leg. And give it a little, as much intensity, as much pressure as you would like to give it. Good. Now, with the body set up just as it is, we're going to have a twist with a twist. So let the head look over the left shoulder as you inhale. And then exhale, looking back over the right shoulder. Twist with a twist. It does such remarkably wonderful things for the body, these twists. Last one. As you complete that, unwind, let the hands float to the left, get yourself resituated. And we're going to twist on the opposite side. So let the legs spread as far apart as is comfortable for you. Let the left hand now come back to the back of the chair seat, anchoring you nicely. Taking the right hand, crossing the body, finding the outside of the left leg. This time the lower belly, the middle belly, the chest is twisting to the left with the head looking over the left shoulder. This time the diagonal twist is specifically anchored from the right glute to the left shoulder. And we're going to do our twist with a twist on this side. Once again, pushing to increase the level of intensity that you would wish to feel. Twist with a twist. Bringing out all that junk, funk, and funk. It's as though you're squeezing it all out, and then when you unwind, it lets in all that fresh supply of nutrients to your whole system. One last twist with the twist breathing. And then we'll unwind, getting ourselves together as we bring the palms together, spread the fingers wide, rubbing to generate just a little bit of warmth. Letting the breathing settle into its normal, easy pace. Bringing prayer hands to heart center with the thumbs gently touching the sternum. Feeling the beating of the heart and the rhythm of the breath. Thank you so much for sharing your yoga practice together today here. It's wonderful to be in partnership with AARP. The light in me sees and honors that same light in you. Namaste.